Hello, welcome to another episode of Spec Tech. Today we have a prize that I won from the Smash Brothers tournament back in February. I don't have the packaging anymore, but this is the world's smallest Atari 2600 that works, at least not like a super little tiny miniature. So this retails for about $20 to $25. I've seen it go on sale for $15 before. I won it from the Smash tournament, got third place. They gave me this little DDR thing. So that was cool. I don't have the DDR thing though, I sold it. I decided to keep this because I like the charm of this. So this is the world's smallest tiny arcade Atari 2600. And what this basically is, these aren't real Atari games. These are little cheap recreations of the Atari games, and it comes with everything's all connected together, which makes sense. You get the joystick, which is honestly, it's a good joystick. You probably can't hear it, but it's very clicky, and the one button that's on here is honestly pretty good. I can't lie. It's surprisingly good for a one button thing. And then the actual 2600 is just the reset button, basically. This is just here for visual, like, I don't know, reference to an actual Atari 2600. And then you got a little, it's supposed to be like the RF box. It's just purely visual. I'm sure if you like cut this wire, it would break everything, so I'm not gonna do that. So the little games that are on here are recreations. These are recreations. These are not original Atari ROMs. And apparently, I guess the battery's dead. Huh. And that's a good timing. Or it went into auto sleep mode. Let's see. Battery shouldn't be dead. We have Asteroids, Pac-Man, Warlords, Tempest, Pong, Missile Command, Millipede, Combat, and then back to Centipede. Now what's interesting is, this is one of the few official re-releases lately of Atari Pac-Man. And I'm gonna have to zoom in a bit because the screen is very, very tiny, as it should be. But yeah, this is a re-release of the terrible Pac-Man game for the 2600. Well, I guess you could say this is like a demake, because this is somehow even worse than the actual Atari Pac-Man. I mean, they still got the obsessive flickering, which they obviously did to be authentic. I mean, they recreated this version from scratch, so they could have made it not like that, but props to them for being authentic. So, but yeah, I don't like this game. We're just gonna go quick through all the games real quick. We got Asteroids. Haven't actually played it, but I mean, I played Asteroids, just not on here. But yeah, it is definitely Asteroids. I think this is honestly probably one of the better recreations on here. The physics are a bit whack, but I mean, for what it is, it does work. It's playable. Little joystick does pretty well for this. But yeah, it's Asteroids. It's a good high score game. My favorite game on here is definitely Breakout. I like Breakout, but it's not exactly the best to play on this. This is definitely a very subpar, slow version of this. And obviously, you want to play Breakout with a paddle, not this little tiny bugger right here. So yeah, this version's kind of eh. If it had like some power-ups or something to spice it up, that'd be different. But this is just slow. Centipede. Centipede's actually pretty good on here. The only thing I gotta say is that the graphics are very, very, very tiny. It also seems like this version is a bit more difficult because of that. So, but it's definitely Centipede. I don't really have any nostalgic reasons to ever play Centipede, but if you like it, then there's a tiny version of it. Combat, I don't think I've ever played before. This one actually has some options to it, which is nice. Some good options here. I'm pretty sure combat's supposed to be like a 2-player game though, and it looks terrible on the screen. Like, it looks horrendous. I don't know why it looks so bad, but we're just gonna skip that. That's probably the worst game on this list. Millipede. This is just more Centipede. Same sound effects and everything. Though this one definitely is a bit more chaotic. But yeah, I wouldn't expect you to get very much like intense gameplay on this little tiny thing. This is mostly just like a haha display piece that also has some recreations of 2600 games. I have no idea what kind of hardware or CPU this is running. Okay, missile command. Honestly, this one probably feels the most accurate to an actual 2600 game. I mean, you can't really mess up missile command. The little joystick does work pretty well for this one. Yeah, I would say this is probably one of the better games on here. It's definitely a lot more accurate to its original version. So yeah, that one's good. Missile command gets a pass. Pong. It's Pong. I mean, do I really need to talk about it? It's Pong. You know, prefer to play this with a slider, but you know, you gotta make do. It's Pong. Tempest is an interesting inclusion on here, considering you gotta like rotate the stick like the whole kinds of directions. It's definitely an interesting addition on here. Oh my god, I think I picked a difficult level, but this is definitely the version of Tempest of all time. I will say that. I actually do like Tempest. This is probably the worst way to play this game. I can barely tell what the fuck's going on in this little tiny screen. And then Warlords. This game I've never heard of. I mean, I've seen it on some collections, but I have no idea what's going on in this game. If this is probably better, it feels like it's supposed to be like a 4-player game. Looks like you don't want the meteor to get into your goal, I'm guessing. So that's enough of that. I believe that's every game on here. Yeah. Honestly, I would get this thing if you're like a collector and you know you just want a little tiny TV. Oops, shit. Little tiny TV that has a couple little basically like recreations of Atari games, and or you want a little display piece for your collection, I'd say this is worth it. But if you actually want to buy this to play Atari games, just get a pre-owned flashback or something. Like, honestly, it's not that good. I give this thing an A for aesthetics. I do like the aesthetics of it, but I'm gonna give it like a C for gameplay, because really there's not that many good games on here. I mean, they included Atari Pac-Man, for God's sake. Clearly the bar is not very high for this. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that Missile Command and Asteroids are the best games on here. I mean, and Pong. You can't really fuck up Pong too much. But yeah, if you buy this in your Missile Command and you like Asteroids, I guess it's good. Or if you just want to have a weird re-release of Atari Pac-Man for some reason, yeah. But yeah, interesting little device. I'll definitely be keeping it. I mean, it was a prize. I did win it. Oh yeah, and something a little fun about this thing is that you can put it on little feet that you can pull out, so you can get a little bit of a better viewing angle. Not by much. Obviously, it look better like something hard and not a carpet. But yeah, not a bad little device.